Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, it's all come down to this. 15 races in a season, and 4 drivers are going to duke it out. After all the points have been accumulated, 2 weeks for the final 4, and after Bristol last week, we're going to the season finale. Live from the virtual Las Vegas Motor Speedway, it's the original Rebels Racing Truck Series, live on V-Speed. Welcome in, I am your host. Presented here by Golden, Suzuki, Honda, and Kawasaki. Bradley Cooper up in the booth with you. One last race here as we try to settle out the points. And 4 drivers, as I mentioned, have a chance at the championship. You have Bates at the top of this board coming in with 6 wins, and Carlson, Bame, and Tracy, your final 4 coming into tonight. Not the best of weeks there last week, but only about 12, 13 cars on the racetrack, so probably keeps these drivers within a few points of each other. We'll have to wait and see how this all shakes out. And take a look here at your track map. Las Vegas Motor Speedway opened back March 30th, 1996 in Las Vegas, Nevada, right near the Nellis Air Force Base. And as you go down the back straightaway, you can see there into the Nellis backstretch faces towards that military base, Air Force Base out in the Mojave Desert. 1.5 miles, 20 degrees of banking should put on some multi-groove racing. Race analysis up on your screen now. 110 laps here tonight, 45 mile per hour pit road speed limit, 3 tire sets available, and 60% fuel. These trucks should be able to make it about 35 laps around this racetrack. So we're probably going to have 2 pit stops under green if we stay caution-free throughout this race. But with that, let's take you trackside now. Get that grid up on the screen, and let's find out where these top 4 in the points will start Corey Bigley with a pole, 30.516. Dylan Bates, one of the top four. He will start in the second position. Eric Tracy, another one of those top four drivers. Elliott Carlson also in that top four. He will start on the outside, so row number 2 belongs to two of those drivers. A lot of twos in that. Jason Lottridge will start in 5th position. Stephon Davis in 6th. And you have Cody Boehm, the last of that top four, starting the furthest back of these four drivers. Josh Oswald in 8th position. Brandon Wallace will be in 9th position, rounding out your top 10. Row number 5, Kieran Church in the number 22. These drivers electing not to take a time. Jeremiah Holt as well in 11th position. Mark Cofield, good to see him back on the racetrack in 12th spot. Mike Beath will round out your field here today. So only 13 cars here tonight. Well, we are pacing around Las Vegas, getting set to go green. 110 laps. And while we have it here, we're going to go ahead and pull Corey Bigley up into the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, Corey, you've put it up there on the pole. We got a lot of racing to do here. Do you feel like you got the long run speed to beat some of these top four in points?
Yeah, I made a second long run earlier today, and it.
Sorry, Mike cut off there at just the end of that.
I said I ran another long run till I ran out of fuel, and my tires looked a lot better.
Well, there you go. So now you got the fuel data. You know how to save for the long run. Good luck out there. Maybe we'll talk to you post-race.
All right, thanks.
Velocity Motorsports driver Corey Bigley actually getting ready to go green here. So we had to drop him back down a little bit quicker than we probably wanted to, but here we go for 110 laps in the Mojave Desert. Let's roll some dice. Let's get the final four and that champion crowned. Green flag is out and we're underway. Originals Rebels Racing League in the Truck Series. Number 1, Dylan Bates gets around the 28. Only 10 cars actually electing to grid in this race. And here comes Carlson to the outside and get a good shot of the face on the hood of that machine. Corey Bigley, Elliott Carlson on the outside. Almost 3 wide there for the lead, cutting the tri-oval. Bates has his hands full here. They're riding off the back end of that 91. He has probably the best shot after the race he had at Bristol of winning this championship, coming in here with 6 victories and almost some contact. Closes the door on Bigley. 09 of Carlson takes over the lead on the outside. But that was a close one there going into turn 3. Bigley almost turned the 91. So now Carlson with the lap lead. You know these drivers bringing their A game here tonight. Elliott Carlson knows he has to win this race, and here comes Eric Tracy. Another lap. So each 3 out of the 4 in the top 4 in points have now led a lap. Tracy gets one that time by. Carlson got one the time before that. Bates took the lead there for a brief moment. Cody Boehm is still sitting back here where he started this race in the 7th position. has Stephon Davis and that Terry Labonte throwback just behind him. But it's looking like for Bame right now, a little off the pace. Maybe in the tire save mode. Recently, these races have been known to go green. So plenty of racing left to be done. Maybe not pushing it. Tracy will lead another time by. Bigley, your pole sitter, has fallen back to 5th spot. Dylan Bates back to 4th. Got some pass looking back here. It looked like the 17 of Josh Oswald was going to try to go around Bigley. Nothing yet. Got a run out of 4. You hear these drivers almost wide open, lifting slightly there in the entry of the corners. Trying to keep it on the bottom. And now to the outside. Here comes Jason Lottridge to try to lead a lap on the high line. He has the lead by about 0.02 of a second. He'll lead this time by 0.3 to the point. A little bit of blocking going back on for Carlson there to try to keep Bates at bay. Sticking to that bottom line. Looks like the outside maybe wearing out the tires a little bit faster. And now a cluster of trucks together, 2nd through 7th. As Cody Bame is now on the move up to 6th to the high line, following Carlson, getting a little air on that nose. He's going to have the run on the outside, and it looks like Bates is going to fall back to 5th now. Bigley also getting past. Side by side, 3rd on back. Carlson holding on. And a peak 3 wide here. Back on board with the 78. Bame already on the move now. Picked up 3 spots in just 2 laps. Up to 4th. Really worked the outside again. Bates falls back another position. Has the 60th Stephon Davis on the inside of Corey Bigley just behind him. Lottridge has pulled out 7/10 now. Off the back of the 0-3. And the Bluey 0-3 has continued to grow this lead. Clean Air working to his advantage right here. You gotta wonder, is he using it up or is he just running that perfect of a line? The Lottridge has been a name we haven't really talked about much here in these final 5 races. Misfit Productions in the chat. Sorry about the Nightbot. It's a little bit strict here. We probably need to lower how strict the Nightbot is. Eric Tracy continuing to watch that lead grow, 2nd through 6th or 5th position rather. Still right on top of each other. This field has spread out tremendously in just 13 laps. Right now, the driver that had the best chances coming into tonight has fallen back to 5th. All these drivers in the top 4. Top 5 on the racetrack right now, running nose to tail. Tracy, Carlson, Bame, and Bates. Bumper to bumper. Almost contact there with Bame on board with the 91. Go back here and look. Kinder Farm and Ranch pole sitter. And the number 28, Corey Bigley, has fallen all the way back to 8th position after starting up on the top spot. Unfortunate set of circumstances here. Was able to get the top spot, but not able to lead a lap. And right now, based off these lap times, he is about a 2/10 deficit to the leader. Jason Lottridge is starting to lose ground. You saw that lead that he had stretched out well over a full second. It's now dwindled down to 7/10 as they go through 1 and 2. Eric Tracy chasing him down, bringing a freight train of playoff contenders behind him, but Tracy started to separate himself from Carlson. "17 laps complete." A little bit of bump draft there across the tri-oval. Cody Boehm on the back end of Carlson, and slowly Josh Oswald is creeping back into this picture. Oswald started in the 8th spot. Boehm to the outside here, probably not intentional, but it looks like Bates is going to look to the inside out of 4. Has to run across the tri-oval, maybe a change for 4th. We'll stay side by side through 1 and 2. Outside has the advantage down the backstretch. Trying to close the door there, and 78 inches the 91 on the entry is going to have a better exit. Dylan Bates not able to get around for 4th. They have caught up to the leader, though. Lottridge getting past on the inside. Going to try to play defense on the high line. Not quite the run he wanted out of the exit of turn 2, but it'll be enough to take back the lead temporarily. 2 by 2, the front 2 rows. Carlson getting past. Here comes Cody Boehm for the 3rd spot. But that outside just tough to beat. Bates goes to the high line, tries to follow Carlson around the 78. Way outside here for Bates. Oh, and the 0-3 of Carlson, or Lottridge rather, makes a mistake, hits the wall. The 0-9 gets by. Tracy takes the lead, but they're still bunched up. Top 4 in points, top 4 on the racetrack. And you would think that somebody told these drivers the championship was on the line, but they need for somebody to have a bad day. It's so tight in the points here that right now as they run, it's really not going to change from what we saw at the start of this race. Eric Tracy still leads. Cody Boehm up to 2nd. Elliott Carlson falls back to 3rd. Dylan Bates finally peeking for 4th to the inside of Lottridge. Now another change for the lead. Cody Boehm down to the bottom. Tracy runs the high line. 0.05 of a second. Not enough of a run there in the entry of 3. A little bit of a blinking issue there for Oswald riding with Kieran Church in 7th position right now. Up 3 spots. We had some other drivers on this racetrack. Brandon Wallace, Mark Cofield. Mark Cofield is 7 laps down. Maybe a connection issue here for some of these drivers. There's Mark Cofield, got out on the racetrack as well. And notice that iRacing has been having some server issues as of late. Pass for 3rd, Bates to the inside, cuts the tri-oval, trying to keep that run into turn 1. We're side by side again here on lap 26. Not enough there for Bates. It looks tough to pass on the bottom. Top 4 in this race all have a championship on the line. Tracy has another attempt out of turn 2. This is where Cody Bain wanted to be on the outside. He was able to get the nose in there out of 2. And still waiting on Cody Bain to officially lead a lap, and it looks like this time by all 4 of the top 4 in points are going to get a lap led here at Las Vegas. No points advantage for any one of these guys. Falls back in line. I think that's all he wanted for that. No, he's going to try again here on the bottom in 3 and 4. You saw Dylan Bates on the move, almost contact. Here comes Bates, almost into the wall. He'll go by for 2nd. Now going to try to take the lead away from the 67. Tracy on the bottom. Here comes pit road. Bates stays out an additional lap. But 3 out of the top 4 in points down pit road. Oswald follows suit. Everybody but the top 2. We've got Kieran Church still out there as well. Both of the VMS drivers stay out on the racetrack. Should see the 91 this time by. We do. Down and away for Eric Tracy. He'll lead them out of pit road. Cody Bain stays close behind here. And we've got a side-by-side out of pit road. The 09 was trying to get by. Wasn't able to do it. But they're going to stay nose to tail here out of pit road. Uh-oh, it looks like the 78 of Bain miscued on that pit stop. Has to come back in. Maybe didn't take fuel. Not exactly sure what happened to Cody Bain. He had to do a pass-through penalty here. Let's see if we can go back. Maybe too many pit stalls entered. I'm not exactly sure, but let's go back. I have to go back another 20 seconds here. Maybe a speeding penalty. I don't think passing through too many boxes was a rule. The 09 did it as well. And Eric Tracy is trying to chase down. Dylan Bates got on and off pit road almost a second and a half ahead of Eric Tracy. And this is This might be all she wrote. This is quite the lead. He also has 1 lap advantage on tires. This could seal the deal, and for Cody Bame, he's going to be at risk of going a lap down here. Some of these drivers need a caution. The field's so spread out, it might never come. Just under a third of the way through this race. These trucks made it about 29 laps on fuel. This might be one of those 3-stop races based off of those numbers. Everybody electing to come in and just top off with fuel that time through that pit stop. 3 tire sets available tonight. Might be only 2. I'm not exactly sure why they would elect to do fuel only here. Again, working with the information that's given to me. Have to wait and see how this all plays out. Don't go anywhere. We've got more coverage. Original Rebels Racing League and their season finale for the Truck Series live from Las Vegas, only on V-Speed. We'll be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Las Vegas. Original Rebel Racing League. Their Truck Series season finale. Dylan Bates, Eric Tracy, Cody Bame, Elliott Carlson for your top 4 in points here tonight. But as it sits right now, Cody Bame at risk of going a lap down, had to come back through pit road. 78 currently in the 10th position. As that sits, I'd say we probably have to give this driver that hard luck award. So the Rice Farms Hard Luck Award is going to go to Cody Bame. It looks like this race is going to stay green. We're approaching the halfway mark, and he is 29.5 seconds behind your leader, who's right behind him right now. Dylan Bates started in second, has led 15, now 16 laps as he crosses that stripe. Not looking good for the rest of these drivers. I think Tracy is 2.7 seconds back. About 12 laps on the stint here. Dylan Bates got a 1 lap advantage on tires, was able to save enough fuel there to go 1 extra. Elliott Carlson back here in third. Started in fourth, but not making up much ground. It's about 1 second back from the 67. Laps continue to tick away. Field spread out. Bame, who passed back through pit road, now is giving draft to the 91. The way these trucks have been driving, very momentum based. I think it's only a matter of time before the 91 drafts up there to the back bumper of the 78. Have to wait and see. But it's not looking good here. On board with Kieran Church. He's worked his way into the top 5. Our Charger right now. It's definitely the 22. Up 6 spots. Nobody else has moved that much. 5 positions gained. We've got some side-by-side back here. Jason Lottridge going behind Mike Veith for the 8th position. Lottridge had led some laps earlier in this race, but looks like on and off pit road, not a good entry and exit to the pits. 44.3 seconds down the lane. And that's about 10 seconds faster than the rest of this top 10. So not the best entry to pit road, best exit. And lost a ton of ground. Bates has caught up. Within a couple tenths now. Looks like he might put the 78 a lap down within the next couple laps here. Might be this time by as he gets right up on the back bumper. Cody Bame trying to defend it, gives him some dirty air. A little bit deeper drive into the corner for the 91. And right up on the back end of the 78, putting the pressure on him. Bates still hasn't figured out a way to get around the 78. Might be content with just drafting, maybe save a little bit extra fuel. Or Cody Bame having to come back down pit road. He's on that borrowed time. It looks like the 91 is not content. He's going to try to put one of these contenders for the championship a lap down. And that just adds salt to the wound here for what happened. The green flag pit stops. Kiernan Church has worked up within 2/10. Might be making a pass for the third position here momentarily. Elliott Carlson has had a string of top threes these last 3 weeks. Trying to see if he can make it 4 in a row. But right on the edge with Kiernan Church. Looking back here with Mark Cofield and Brandon Wallace, there is a race going on for the 11th position. Even though these drivers are 7 laps down, this is for a spot. It's within 3/10 of each other. Eric Tracy has fallen back to 2.7 seconds now. That pass for position starting to shape up. Now 1/10 of a second. Kiernan Church is going to try the outside through 3 and 4. Going to try to get the run across the tri-oval. He will get a huge run off the exit of turn 4. And for the third position to the outside into 1 and 2. Here comes Church. They'll have the preferred line out of the exit and will clear on Elliott Carlson. P3 for the 22. This is battle on the racetrack. Trucks coming out of pit road. That's Mark Cofield and Brandon Wallace on a little bit different strategy. Wallace able to complete that pass on the pit. He'll come out ahead of the 97. Bill Mays on an island all by himself here. Pretty Bame brought it back down pit road. To try the short pit strategy to get back on the lead lap here. Could work out in his favor. Might get a little bit of an advantage. This is right around pit stop time. Eric Tracy, Dylan Bates, and a lot of this top 3. Here comes Corey Bigley, your pulse sitter. He'll pull it down right around lap 58. Just behind him, I believe that was the 17 of Oswald. Stephon Davis still out on the racetrack. Continue on. Eric Tracy down pit road. The 9 of Mike Veith has hit his stall as well. 09 of Elliott Carlson. Trying to short pit here. Dylan Bates continues to motor around. And now he'll come down. Lap 59. Kiernan Church going to try to get a lap lead. He will go by. And another lead change. 7 of them with 0 cautions. Dylan Bates has a little bit of wiggle room. Doesn't have to push it on pit road. It looks like the first set of 4 tires is going to go on the 91. The 22 loses it on the entry of pit road. Big mistake there for Kiernan Church. And he might lose a ton of time He had worked his way to the top 3, was probably going to cycle out to that 3rd or 4th position. But now with that mistake, he'll be happy to be in the top 5. And misses the stall as well. The impact of this pit road. Big mistakes there for the 22. And now the 91 has stretched that lead to almost 7 seconds, 6.6. Eric Tracy has lost a ton of ground. These drivers are getting beat on pit road. Phenomenal on and off here. 39.1 seconds in the lane. The only driver close to that was Stephon Davis with a 39.3. Everybody else, 42 or 41 seconds down pit road. That's going to turn into an eternity on the racetrack. A couple tenths here, a couple tenths there, but when you make it a full second advantage in and out of that box, 14.2 on the pit stop as well. Bates has brought his A game here tonight from Las Vegas. That finishes up our second round of green flag pit stops. Based off this number, cars are going to have to come back down somewhere around lap 90 to make it to the end of this race. Say probably lap 88 to 89. Right around the 20 to go mark, you're going to see that final set of 4 tires go on these trucks. Caution free here tonight from Las Vegas. Walking back here with your second place, Eric Tracy, Elliott Carlson. Remember the 22 had gotten around the 09. But made a mistake on pit road on the entry. And now Carlson, he made up a ton of time on pit road. He's all over the back bumper into 3 and 4. Still some close racing. Past the halfway point. There's the tail for second and third position. Corey Bigley back here. Your pole sitter in 4th spot. Stephon Davis, the top 5. Dylan Bates got back around the 78. Cody Bame, who short pitted about 6 laps sooner. Doesn't look like he had enough advantage on and off pit road. Bame, one of those drivers that also got on and off around that 39-second mark. But still not good enough here. Dylan Bates continues to stretch out the lead. 8.7 seconds here at Las Vegas. So with that, we stay green. Going to take another quick commercial break. We're watching Sunday Night Trucks, the Rebel Series season finale. We'll be back right after this.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome back live from Las Vegas. Dylan Bates, still your leader. Just under 3/4 of the way through this event, the season finale. The Rebel Series trucks. Presented by Golden Kawasaki. We got a pretty spread out field here of 9 seconds to second position. 10 seconds back here with Carlson, who was not able to get around. He's actually starting to lose a little bit of ground. The 0-3 of Lottridge, who had led some laps, has fallen off the lead lap. Only 7 trucks remain on this lead lap, and as Kieran Church, he has the leader in his mirror just behind here. He's got the 97 as well. That's Mark Cofield just behind Kieran Church right here down the backstretch. And it's been clean and green. And ever since these pit stops, Dylan Bates has not looked back. He's now led 48 laps. Our 7 lead changes come to a halt after that first round. Now with the second round, unless we get a yellow, I do not foresee anybody catching up to Dylan Bates. He has been phenomenal here in this championship race, and it looks like Bates maybe is going to lock up this championship. Walking the field here tonight. Dominant performance. Eric Tracy, Elliott Carlson, Cody Bain, mistakes were made here tonight. While we have a moment here, we're past that halfway point, well past it, approaching that white flag, about 30 laps to go. Let's take a good look at this paint scheme and hand out our V3D Printing Best Appearing Paint Award. It's going to go to Mark Cofield here tonight. Cofield Supply and Service has been all over V-Speed in multiple different fashions, in multiple different leagues. Here he is, representing the company. A very bright red down the sides of that machine. Just a good-looking truck overall. Some of you might be asking, how do we decide that here on V-Speed? Well, really, it's up to my gut, my feeling. I see these trucks out here every week. I've seen some very awesome paint schemes. I've seen a lot of originals. I've seen some paint schemes that were retro with their own twist. some of the most recognizable trucks. One that you've seen up front a lot here today. Another good looking paint scheme. Blue and green always looks good together. You know, guys that don't play it safe, like Elliott Carlson. Got some of the fan favorites here on V-Speed on the hood and side of that truck. Like a top 3 day, but not quite good enough for Tracy and Carlson. Corey Bigley, the pole sitter, trying to go around the 0-3 here on the inside. 0-3 of Lottridge is a lap down, actually 2 laps down now. We're right on the edge of that final pit stop. Dylan Bates could probably afford to come down anytime he wanted now. These drivers know they can make it about 29 on the tank. And about 26 laps to go when he crosses the stripe. Completely up to him. He has dictated the tempo of this race. Most likely going to stick with that tire advantage, and it will be up to second on back to maybe force the hand of Dylan Bates to come down earlier than he wants to. But if he's going to continue to stay out on this racetrack, I can guarantee you, Scotty Boehm is exiting pit road. I can guarantee you the 91 is going to take it as far as he can on this tank of fuel. Just about 2-3 laps left, and he can make it. Here comes Corey Bigley now from the 5th spot. Spawn Davis up to 4th now. 2 positions gained for the number 60. 4 positions gained for Kieran Church, now 5 spots. 22 has been in recovery mode. We had a spin on the pits and led a lap here today. Actually got 2 laps led. Locked down the brakes, spun the back end around. Still has that fast repair, but it's unfortunate. Looking like Kieran Church will be happy with a top 5 here today. Jason Lottridge looks like he's coming down pit road in the 0-3. The 60 of Davis is also following in. The 0-9 of Carlson and the 67 of Tracy. This is for the 2nd spot. These 2 nose to tail. Closest battle on the racetrack, and this is going to come down to who gets in and out of this stall the fastest. Looks like the 67 is going to drop the jack and be down and away first. Bates continues to stay out. The even tires between the 67 and the 09. This is the last stint with about 20 to go. Bates is down. Kieran Church stays out 1 more lap. Gonna get another lap led here. Is this gonna be enough? He's gonna have to make up about 4.5 seconds to catch up to the top 5. Can he do it here on and off? Don't want to make any mistakes. This time looks clean. Bates is going to take back the point and have about an 8-second lead. That time, Tracy and Bigley in the 39-second range. Much better down pit road, but not enough to make up any ground. They still lost time. Dylan Bates was still a little bit faster in and out of that lane. Cody Bame has not recovered his race, and he has stayed a lap down for about 75% of this event ever since that first round of green flag pit stops. Has not been able to recover, and that really puts an asterisk on this season. He's been highly competitive, has a victory this season. When you have a playoff format, you have to bring it every single race. And these final 6 races went underway. These drivers knew that. And you slip up one time. Ultimately cost him a shot at this championship. Dylan Bates is showing he's got what it takes to seal the deal. $17 laps to go now, crossing the stripe. Almost a full 10 seconds. Mark Cofield and Brandon Wallace late on the grid here. Had connection issues, a possible problem here. What do you know it? The Chiefs are going to the Super Bowl again. Sure, everybody's really excited for that. Not if you're a Bills fan. Corey Bigley has found his way up to the 3rd spot. He's in 4th right now, but on the back bumper of the 09. Has an opportunity here for a podium finish. Can he catch up? Been a lot of wide open, but this stint's going to be a little bit shorter. Bigley had short pitted. Tires are getting closer to evening out. He's trying to find his way closer. Carlson has just been able to keep this top 3. Had a challenge there earlier with Kerna Church, who made a mistake on pit road, and Church is a lap down now. Looks like he took fuel only. There's Josh Oswald, the last truck on the lead lap in 6th spot. Davis in front of him in the number 60. Top 5 day for Stephon Davis. Bigley is losing ground here. Lost a couple tenths that last time by. Watching it kind of shrink here between 2nd and 3rd. Carlson is catching up to Eric Tracy. Will he be able to do anything with it once he gets there? Last time by, he was about a tenth faster. This time gets a little tight out of 3 and 4. Ends up losing some of that ground. He's doing really well through 1 and 2. You can see catching up to him. We're back on this battle for position on the bottom right of your screen. Just needs to back up that entry into 3, and I think he can get the drive off the corner to catch up to the 67. You see through 1 and 2 a lot faster. Probably needs to lift just a little bit sooner here in the entry of the corner. Back to the throttle too soon. He's going to get really tight out of this exit. Scrubs off the speed, and this time by 31.4 for both these drivers, only a couple hundredths faster. Eric Tracy, 9 seconds back. Doesn't look like it's going to be possible here tonight. Dylan Bates continues to lead this race. Coming up on 5 laps to go. And a shout out to all these drivers that participated in this, even though they weren't all playoff eligible here tonight. It's always good to see drivers come out, even if they aren't eligible for that championship. Help put on a show and maybe mix things up a little bit, but outside of Cody Boehm, with the problems he had here tonight, having to come back down pit road. As he check in with the 78, currently in the 8th position. Outside of that and the mistakes that were made, it's just been a phenomenal start to this race for that top 4 in points. I'm sure the 78 wants to go back in time and whatever that mistake was. But here we go. Almost 5 laps left. Dylan Bates continues to stretch the lead out. Last time by, about a tenth faster than Eric Tracy. In clean air. Has a lap truck a little bit further ahead of him. That's the last truck on the lead lap of Josh Oswald. 5 laps to go now, crossing the stripe. Probably not going to get there to put him a lap down. Bigley, much older tires, as Stephon Davis pretty far back here. Even with the mistake, and both these drivers have a little bit of a problem here tonight. 4 laps to go. Cody Boehm is catching up to Kiernan Church. 4 tenths separate these two drivers. This is for the 7th spot here. So position still up for grabs for the 78. Three laps left. 2 to go when they crosses the stripe. Dylan Bates is going to wrap up this championship in good fashion. The most winningest driver this season in the Truck Series. Gonna add another one. Unless something catastrophic happens to the 91 of Dylan Bates, he has got this sealed up. Let's take the white flag one more time around. Here on V-Speed at Las Vegas. Championship driver. Top 4 in the playoffs. Got the victories when they counted. And off of turns 1 and 2, the final time down the backstretch. Into 3 and 4, he almost caught up to the 17 to put one more driver a lap down. But that doesn't matter. It won't count for points. What does count is he wins this race, and he is officially going to take the championship. Dylan Bates is going to be your winner. The original Rebels Racing League Truck Series, season number 9. Eric Tracy comes home in second place. Elliot Carlson keeps that top 3 string together. But it's Dylan Bates that locks it all up here. And he gets a little bit of a celebration push. And that's all he's got. Trying to get this thing refired to burn it down here on the front stretch. EMS teammate coming in to give him a little congratulatory shunt down the front stretch. That's all the fuel he had left there. Post-race interviews with your top 3 and your champion. Final race results. We're going to take a quick break while we round up that information. You're watching the original Rebels Truck Series live on V-Speed.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Back here live from Las Vegas in the original Rebel Truck Series. They've concluded their season finale. Season concluded 15 races. We have crowned our champion, Dylan Bates. He also won this race here tonight. The top four, very competitive, back and forth all night long. 7 lead changes, 0 cautions. But Dylan Bates was a little bit faster on and off pit road. 11 lead changes if you want to get technical with all those pit cycles. Eric Tracy is going to finish in second. Elliott Carlson keeps that string of top threes alive. We'll get a word with your champion and those top 3 drivers in just a moment. Corey Bigley, your pole sitter. Talked to him in the pre-race. He's going to finish 4th here tonight. Stephon Davis in 5th position with Josh Oswald in 6th. 7th goes to Kiernan Church. Mistakes on pit road. Cody Bame also had a problem. He had to go back to 8th. 9th goes to Mike Veith. And rounding out your top 10, going to be the 03 of Jason Lodridge. 11th spot goes to Mark Cofield. Late to the grid here for these drivers. Problem maybe with connection. Not exactly sure what happened. Brandon Wallace finishes 12th. Rounding out your field here tonight, Jeremiah Holt electing not to grid. He finished this race 109 laps down. But with that, we're going to pull our championship driver up first. I think it's time to bring Dylan Bates up here. We're going to do this in reverse order tonight. You got a trifecta. Most laps led. You won the race. And most of all, Dylan Bates, after walking the field here tonight, you won the championship. Season number 9. Here you are. Congratulations.
Yeah, pretty awesome, man. I'm not a big fan of the playoff format championships, but luckily it all worked out and we made it happen.
Well, let's go back to the beginning of this race. The top 4 in points were running 1, 2, 3, 4 to start this race off. It was competitive out there in that first stint. Were you sweating this thing at all? You had fallen back to 5th there at one moment.
I think that it all kind of came down to that first pit stop. I kind of had that plan beginning of the race because I knew there wasn't too many trucks tonight, so it was going to be whoever could get out of the pits on that first pit stop and just get the race strung out from there and be in control when the race was strung out. So I just made sure to save a lot of tire because obviously that first stop we didn't take tires. It was just a fuel stop. So I tried to save tires in that first run so I had something to go the second stint with. And we got in the pits really aggressive and got back off really well. And from there, we just kind of maintained.
Maintain you did, and you maintained this possibility of a championship. Playing chess, I like the strategy, saving those tires, and it's always interesting when you have a strategy like that you're able to kind of predict, and the race thankfully stays green. How great is that for the end of this season to have a race that go that clean?
Yeah, the 1.5 miles, they always kind of come down to the strategy like that, especially when the trucks were the first 10, 15 laps of these runs in this truck at this track, you're just holding to the floorboard. So everybody's really close at the same time. So you just got to make sure to beat them on the strategy. And I felt like I was doing well at doing the math in my head and knowing when I needed to come to pit road next. And yeah, it was a lot of fun. I like races like that. So yeah, when things go your way, I guess it's a little more fun, but.
Well, Dylan, we could go back. I mean, we could review and talk about the victories. You're the most winningest driver this season. We could talk about the dominant performance, but all in all, there's somebody that put this truck on the racetrack every single week. You had a lot of people backing you and a lot of supporters. Go ahead and shout them out for this championship.
Yeah, just all the guys at Velocity Motorsports, Josh and Eric and Elliott. I think really everybody in the championship chase was Velocity team, so it's pretty cool to kind of sweep the top 4 and all of us be up there and working together. So I don't think anybody was working together tonight, but it was fun throughout the season trying to get here at least.
Congratulations again. We thank you for your time and look forward to what you have in store for us in the future.
Thank you, sir.
Race winner and champion Dylan Bates in the 91. Now we bring up second place finisher in this race, and I know that it wasn't exactly the way that he planned it. I assume. Well, I'm trying to grab Eric Tracy.
Yeah.
I got a copy with you.
Yep.
Eric,
So,
I know this race didn't go exactly as planned, but I mean, you guys were bad competitive. The top four were right on top of each other for a lot of this race, and especially in that first stint, you guys were all running 1, 2, 3, 4. I asked Dylan if he was sweating it. Were you nervous here? You guys were racing pretty competitively in that first 40 laps.
I mean, I wasn't too nervous about that. I mean, I had to win the race to have any chance of winning the championship. So, I mean, at that point, it just race as hard as you can, see what happens. But as soon as he got that big gap on that first pit stop, the race was pretty much over without a caution at that point.
So I believe it was Irwindale where you had pulled out there and got that victory, but you come out here tonight. It seemed like the tracks later on the schedule, you were good enough for a top 5, but not guaranteed anything. Just to, go back to where we started this season. Did you expect this season to go the way it did?
I mean, you never know how everything is going to go. The big tracks, mile and a half stuff, I don't run very much of that, except for when I'm running leagues like this. So it's not my strong suit. Better at the short tracks or Wendell stuff like that. I kind of shot myself in the foot last week at Bristol and put myself in a hole, spinning the truck out trying to get to the lead. So kind of put myself in a bad spot in that position. But it's just how it goes sometimes.
Well, Eric, all in all, great season. I know that there's a lot of people that were a part of this, and you got the Go Bowling on the side, but I know that there's some other people that put this truck on the racetrack, and you can go ahead and thank them, shout them out.
Yeah, I mean, just all the VMS guys. We run around, have a good time, and try to race hard, and it's fun. And then thanks Cody and Tyler and Brandon and everybody that puts the league on. It's fun to race.
Well, there's your second place finisher in this race. I believe second place in the championship points as well. We don't have an official tally on all of that, but we do appreciate your time, Eric, and we look forward to a little bit more in the future.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you.
And with that, we're going to move on to our third place finisher, Elliot Carlson, keeping the streak alive here. Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show. You're no stranger to being up here in the booth with us, Elliot. I think this is 4 interviews in a row now. I know it's the last one of the season, but I mean, this is really a good string of consistency and momentum for the next season.
Yeah. Dylan's tough to compete with. He's pretty good at asphalt racing, pretty good iRacer. But yeah, just try to follow suit. Eric, he's pretty fast too. Like racing with him. All the guys at VMS, racing with them all the time makes me better, and hopefully I can kind of pay it forward and help make some of them better too.
Well, let's go back to the beginning of this race. You had kind of fallen behind Kernan Church. Church made a mistake on pit road. Then you find yourself in the situation on this last stint where looked like you were catching up to Eric Tracy. What was going on there? I noticed that in the beginning half of the run, you were catching him about a 10th a lap, and then was it the tires evening out, or did you feel like you were overdriving this truck? What exactly happened there?
Oh, I was definitely driving a little harder than Eric was, because I didn't get out of the pits very well. I got in, but I didn't get out as good as he did. So I knew I was trying to catch up to him, get the draft, and I tried to work with Corey for a couple corners, see if we gained time on him, and we weren't. So I went around him, lost some time there, and then when I was trying to gain it back, I had to drive harder than Eric, and he did a good job at maintaining the gap. As soon as I got to that 7/10, he picked it up and it didn't allow me to get a hold of that draft.
Ultimately, though, you still come home in third position. You were one of the more consistent drivers here, and I know that the team behind you in VMS is very, very well done here. Got, I believe, the top 3 in the championship points. So go ahead and shout anybody else out that put the 09 on the racetrack tonight?
Like thank my fiance Brianna being productive while I'm doing
you got a
iRacing.
Brianna too?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Congratulations on the engagement, and congrats on a Brianna. I can confidently say that she's going to keep you in line.
Yeah, she does. That's for sure.
Is it a BRE or a BRI? I got to ask that.
BRI.
Okay. Well, I think when you change those vowels around, they're a little bit nicer. I think the E's a little bit meaner.
But I'd also like to give a shout out to Kinder Farm Ranch, No Neck Bash Repair, Salty South Weather, Flexible Freight Solutions, Beast 3D Printing, all you guys at VMS, and then you, Bradley, for putting this on through V-Speed.
We appreciate the compliments, and hopefully we get to see in the future. I know that everything's up in the air here on Sundays, but hopefully we get to see on the racetrack again. And I don't know if you're part of Apex Racing, but if you are, good chance.
I just joined the Discord a couple days ago, so I'll plan on doing that.
All right. Well, there's a good chance you're going to be back on V-Speed. Appreciate your time, Elliot, and hopefully we get to talk to you again up in the booth.
Sounds good, and thanks, Bradley.
So there it is. We have concluded our season number 9, the original Rebels, Flexible Freight Solutions, Golden Honda Kawasaki. Thank everybody that was a part of this. All the sponsors, Beats 3D Printing, Kinder Farms. We had No Necks there on the Hard Charger Award, and Rice Farms as well. This concludes our broadcasting of the season number 9. If you enjoyed what you saw, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Got plenty of racing left. Come February, it's going to be back to 7 days a week. A lot of oval racing here on V-Speed. I got to thank Adam Baker and Morgan Cook, who covered the beginning portion of this season. An excellent producer, did a phenomenal job, carried and set the bar really high for these guys and what I had to do to keep everything flowing. But we're going to sign off here on V-Speed for tonight. Appreciate your time. For Adam Baker, Eddie Smith, Morgan Cook, Logan Threlkeld, Christian Hill, and DJ Lyon. This is Bradley Cooper saying so long from Las Vegas.